Hi there, it's Alan here again, and I'm back in my listening room. You can probably tell that actually I'm really thrilled to bits with exactly how well this Pink Triangle DaCapo D2A converter modification has worked out. This is knocking spots off my previous CD player, which was not exactly a low-range CD player, it was a named CDS. But it's interesting, as always with these things, one small improvement has basically opened the floodgates to a bunch of other things that I would like to change. So the rest of my HiFi consists of a bunch of homemade prototype preamplifiers and power amplifiers that I've been building and refining over many years. And my speakers are these things, a set of Lynn Celtics. Now, Lynn Celtics are a fantastic design of speaker. As you can see, they're basically a three-way speaker, but actually the lower speaker at the bottom there, actually there's two speakers mounted directly behind each other in what Lynn calls the isobaric construction. So effectively there's one bass driver and immediately behind that is another bass driver, which reduces the pressure loading on the front driver. The problem with these speakers, they do sound fantastic, but they're really difficult to control. So it's very easy for the bass to get completely out of control on these and just shake the room to bits and actually be a bit two note. But with the right amplification, they sound fantastic. Unfortunately, these things are also active only, so you can't buy a passive crossover for these things, which means you need 3 stereo power amplifiers, in fact ideally 4 stereo power amplifiers or 8 monoblocks in order to power these things. And actually that's exactly what I've got. I've got 4 stereo power amplifiers. You can see here this is my crossover, which has got the 3 bass, mid-range and treble controls here. These are just used for tuning. They're actually bypassed now that it's all set up. But basically there's crossovers in here to split the signal into treble, bass and mid-range. And then it goes into, in this case, 4 monoblocks and 2 stereo power amplifiers. The problem is that I said that the bass on these things is really hard to control, which means I've actually ended up having to put my best amplification on the bass drivers for these. And that is now fantastic. It is extremely precise and very rich and very deep and very clear. Problem is that means that I've got rather subpar amplification on the treble and the mid-range, so no prizes for guessing what my next job's going to be. I'm going to be upgrading the amplifiers on these. And the great thing is I've got a new amplifier design that I've been dying to try to build for quite a few years now. And in theory, the power capability of that new amplifier design should be streets ahead of everything I've got in the past. The clarity should be excellent, and it eliminates a couple of the really big design flaws with the vast majority of Class AB amplifiers and even Class A amplifiers. So more on that in my next video. I'll explain what I'm about to get up to with designing these power amplifiers. The big problem is they're going to be expensive, so I've got some thoughts around that as well.